So how do you assess if someone you meet or come across in real life is friendly or poses a threat? Well, I'm going to use the Lord of the Rings as an example, and you can apply this to whatever context you like. So, let's say that neutrality is 0. To reach the stage of welcoming towards somebody, you'd have to amass a certain number of points. Let's say 7 in this context. To have a friendly relationship with somebody, then let's say you'd have to have 14, and to be hospitable, then you'd need to have 21. Just random numbers here. -7 would mean suspicious. -14 would be unfriendly, and -21 would be hostile. Hostile means that you're more than likely to attack that person or group unless you are greatly outnumbered. Being hospitable towards somebody means, of course, that you will do anything not exactly anything, but you will do whatever you can for that person, such as give them lodging, food, clothing, etc. So how do you get positive points and how do you get negative points in this context? Well, the first one is likely to be if you are a well-presented, good-looking person, then you would gain a few positive points here. Meeting somebody of the same race would also give you plus points. Being well-dressed, looking very similar, of course, more positive points here as well. Already having a relationship with that person would give you positive points. Friends, family members, etc. Being of the same order, clan, guild, society, anything like that in this context would give you plus points. It can get a little bit more complicated because you could say, well, there are 3 different races of hobbits. So let's say you are a half-foot and you come across another half-foot, then you might get more positive points than if you come across a store. The same if you are a man of Gondor. If you come across somebody else from Gondor, then you might get more points than if you come across, say, somebody from Rohan. Of course, let's say you are a hobbit, then coming across an Easterling or a Haradrim person would give quite a hefty negative to the score in this context, which would probably automatically take them to unfriendly or hostile. Of course, coming across orcs, even more so. Now, you can apply this to the real world as well if you wish, but that's up to you to decide. So, for me, being here in Austria and in the Woodlands, I've come across people from time to time, and they've all been extremely friendly, smiling, saying hello in German and also in the local dialect. A couple of days ago, I came across an elderly man with a tractor and trailer. He had 3 young blonde granddaughters and a grandson, and they were collecting wood for the winter, and they smiled and said hello. So they perceived me as no threat whatsoever. And so then I spoke with them for a while and helped them to fill their trailer with wood for them. But of course, if they'd come across somebody else or a group of people, then the relationship, when you meet somebody for the first time, could change quite drastically. Certain groups by nature tend to stick together, so even if I come across, just say, a gypsy, it's very unlikely that he or she will say hello to me. and the same for me, vice versa. Even here in the Woodlands, of course, in a town or a city, then there would be no chance whatsoever. You'd get more negative points, let's say, for being in a city, and especially at night time. Being in the Woodlands here, for me, you'd get positive points. So if I were to come across, say, a group of, let's say, for argument's sake, a group of gypsies, then there's no way whatsoever that they would say hello to me, because I'm not one of them, basically. And at least in this context, they're not stupid. They tend to stick to their own kind. So I can't fault them for that in this sense. So yeah, of course, this can also change depending on the number of people you are with and the number of people you come across, the time of the day, if it's day or night, the location, how they're dressed, what they might be carrying, etc. So even if it's somebody of the same race, you know, if they look completely drugged or some kind of like Antifa type, then yeah, there's no chance I'm going to say hello to them, and vice versa. So, you know, it all depends. And there's a good reason why in stories like The Lord of the Rings that the hobbits, of course, stick together in pretty much all contexts here, perhaps apart from places like Bree. People of Gondor stick together, people of Rohan stick together, the Easterlings stick together, the Haradrim stick together, the Men of the Hills stick together, etc., etc. And that's because homogeneous societies function better, and in general they work together. People are happier to simply be around people of their own kind, and of course you can see this here in I'm going to say Europe because I'm European, that people tend to be generally happier when they're around their own kind in small places, in villages, small towns, rather than being in a big city where you can come across every type of person in both a negative and a positive way. So that's all I have to say in this video. I hope you enjoyed the scenery and the message, and until the next time, bye bye.